Namaste. As we come to celebrate Guru Purnima, we wish all our teachers, mentors who've guided us from the moment we started life with our parents, Mata Pita, and then from the first teachers from the kindergarten through primary all the way through school. Let's take a little bit of time to appreciate the significance of this experience. Gu, darkness, Ru, light. Someone who takes you from darkness to light. Now, in the modern context, we oversimplify the word and we use it in various contexts. He's a marketing guru or some such. But it's a very revered tradition in the Indian or the subcontinental way of life. It's a very revered tradition across the world where the teacher plays a significant role in knowledge transfer. If this yoga meditation was just information, Wikipedia will suffice. But it's not that. It's a transformation. It's a passing on of a light from one to the other. And the important thing to understand is that in the inner sciences, it's always a subjective experience. So it's not a question of you trying to learn a subject. Please remember that even when you're studying the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, it is Patanjali's subjective experience of his and therefore our inner journey. So please note this always, that it's very, very significant. Let's take a little bit of time to also understand, in my opinion, the three pillars that constitute the Guru-Shishya relationship. Again, in the modern context, because we've had so many fallouts with so many different gurus and so many scandals, we are skeptical about the whole institution, and I'd like to tell you that that skepticism is helpful to a certain extent because you sort of protect yourself in some way, but it has to have a limit because there are phenomenal gurus across the world. There are phenomenal people from whom it would be great to learn. I myself lived with my own guru for about 7 years, and from there I draw these principles. There are three things that make it very, very important. The first is that of course, fundamentally, does the guru have the expertise to teach? Now, this expertise would require that that person has transformed themselves. It's not just a question of you knowing the four Vedas, knowing the sutras, knowing everything that Buddha has taught, but have you transformed? When I say you, I mean the teacher. And to understand that, it's very important that you spend time around the guru and see whether you would like to learn from this person. It doesn't matter whether they have 1 million followers. What matters is that whether you can think and you can understand and appreciate that teacher's perspective, that guru's perspective. Now, please note that the word is very, very significant. I've been teaching for the last 18 years and I'm a teacher. A guru is something very different from me. A person has completely transformed. So that's the first step. It's not information, it's not knowledge, it's wisdom. And that means a transformation has happened. The second step, or the second pillar in that experience is, does the guru have the willingness to teach you? Does he have the compassion and the willingness to teach you? Does he have the time for you? Now today we find that a lot of people tell me that such and such person is my guru and so on and so forth. And they could have 1 million students and they may have never even met the teacher, or they have met them once when they did some workshop. Is that enough? I don't think so. I come from a little bit of an old school thinking, and maybe it works for some people, but essentially, does the person have the time, the willingness, and is taking responsibility for your journey of life? In my opinion, never take advice from anyone in any aspect of life, from anyone who's not willing to take responsibility if you take their advice. Yeah, please remember this. So in that sense, does the guru have the time for you? Does he even want, or she even want to teach? Some of them are phenomenal, they've attained, and they're happy in their own bliss. They're happy, they're doing their work, they're doing their service. They may not necessarily need or want to teach and impart to students. That's the second. First, has the guru transformed? Second, Do they have the willingness to teach you? Third, now this, in my opinion, the third is the most important point. We keep saying that, we keep chasing different teachers, but essentially, do we have the ability to sacrifice, to discipline ourselves? The word disciple comes from discipline, just like the word devotee comes from devotion. You must have that quality in you. What are you willing to do to be able to learn? Right? It doesn't matter whether the person has the knowledge, whether the person is willing to share, but you don't have the ability, the willingness, the passion and the drive to learn the subject. Now, a lot of us would like to learn yoga and meditation as something that we do a little bit. And for that, teachers like me are more than enough. But for some people, there's an inner fire to explore the great depths of the subject, to explore themselves. For that kind of a person, the gurus exist. I hope I'm making myself very, very clear. What am I, you, willing to put on the line to learn? If I just want to learn 3 days a week, a little bit of yoga meditation and feel a little okay, there are tens of thousands of such teachers like me. But if the student, if you have that fire to go the distance, then the guru becomes important. In anything in life, it's always a relationship, relative, right? So Einstein may be the best physicist, but he may not have the interest to teach you. You may not have the drive to make physics your passion in life. In the same way, the teacher, the guru, has the knowledge, has the willingness, but do you have that drive to be able to learn? And there's a great example, there's a great edict in that sense that teaching is never given, it's taken. You have the grace, you have the fire, you will receive. I wish you all a very, very, very happy Guru Purnima, and I wish you that you have the drive and passion for the subject. And then, as we always say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I can corroborate that from my own life story. For years, I wouldn't care to sort of bow or listen to anyone. When life transpired in such a way that I was then ready, the Guru found me. This is the way it is. This is the way it's been forever. So the first step of the whole journey, be ready. And then worry about whether the Guru is for real or no, whether there are such people or no. You be ready first.